Hello, my friends. There's always a pause. It- Hello, my friends. It's hard to guess when you actually go live because when it says live, it's not necessarily live or it's a little bit slow. So, hello, my name's John Gallagher, and I am I started Ghost Star Energy, and today I want to talk a little bit about electric vehicles and that trail derailment that happened in West Virginia with the oil tankers. Um, yeah, today it's just me. I'm working on trying to make this better and just kind of getting used to it and everything. I did invite some people. That's something new and different, but because it wasn't planned ahead, just nobody could make it. But I'm committed from now on Wednesdays at this time, 8 p.m. Central United States time. I'm going to do one of these, and that'll be one of those stories where you know, hopefully I can be like, yeah, I remember when I first started these and I was the only one and I didn't have any guests. It's like having a party, but and nobody's showing up. But there is this will be recorded and it'll be on my YouTube channel. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And let's get started with the derailment of the oil, the train derailment of the oil tankers in West Virginia. I mean, the pictures of this, the whole details haven't came out. I mean, I don't think the details are really that important. You have a train, it's full of crude oil, it goes off the track, it blows up, it makes huge fire, oil spill, mess, fumes. Oh my, I just I I can't imagine what the fumes and the fire was like because I work in the oil field. I've said that, maybe you don't know that. But I worked in North Dakota, and up there they flare all their gas. And just being close to one of those little tiny flares, it was freaking hot. Matter of fact, one time it was, yeah, I think it was winter time, and my coworker had a frozen burrito. We both had burritos, and mine wasn't frozen, but so we take it over by that flare and just set it on a frac tank, and it was hot just to walk close to that thing. And that flare alone, just the flare, warmed those burritos up. And what I'm talking about the flare is, with a drill for oil, there's a lot of natural gas, and up there they don't have any place to uh, to send that natural gas. And they say environmentally, it's safer, better for them to burn it off and just instead of just letting it go into the air. So anyway, when I was up there in North Dakota, I would see these long trains of crude tankers. Matter of fact, I used to work for a company that made tankers. And well, anyway, so you know, in North Dakota, you load the oil, you take it to the rail yard, you put it on the tanks, and let's just face it, it's just they got problems. I mean, for this isn't the first case where a derailment happened, and it's definitely a problem. I don't quite understand why people are against the pipeline. Are they against it because they feel like that if they build a pipeline, then we'll never get to solar and we'll never get to electric vehicles? Because I don't think that's the case. And the truth is, we still are going to use oil for a little while. Now, since I've started this, I've talked to different people that are involved with the environmentalists, let's just say, really, concerned about climate change. And man, they're very fearful, and that's fine. Maybe they're right, but you never know what the future is going to bring. So I think it's very important that we figure out, the best way to move the oil. It's probably not trucks. It's probably they either got to fix the trains or put some pipelines in. And I deliver to the pipelines. I pick up at the well site, I take it to the pipeline. Um, I drive probably normally about 80 miles, let's just say, from where I picked it up to the pipeline. And of course, there's some that's a lot less than that, 5 miles, but it's probably a better way to go. And I did see on the news that these rail cars were the new kind, supposed to be better. And this is the second one over there in that Virginia area. I believe it was the same rail line, and so they definitely have a problem, and we'll probably find out more of what's going on with that. And so let's talk a little bit about electric vehicles. I am sure and certain that the way that I'm going to approach talking about electric vehicles is here. These are pretty cool. And the way I'm going to approach this is talking about how cool the new electric vehicles are. I I'm like I said, I'm here in Oklahoma in the oil field country, and there's just no, electric vehicles around. People don't see them. I've Because I'm involved with this, I get onto Facebook and chats and start talking to people that are involved or they have electric vehicles, and they're talking about superchargers and talking about how to get the most range. Something about like with the BMW that you can modify it and get more range out of it, which some people are for it. So I don't even understand. I really don't. I'll have to get some of those people that actually have an i3 and ask them about it. But here we just don't see them. You know, I am planning on I'm not planning. I have volunteered to be the city captain for National Drive Electric Week in Oklahoma City, in the heart of oil country. And I just think it's a great place to have, an electric event because they just, they don't see um, electric vehicles, people around here. They don't see electric vehicles. I've never seen one driving down the road. The only one that I've seen in the state of Oklahoma that I know was for sure an electric vehicle was when I went to the state fair. They had a Nissan Leaf on display with a whole bunch of other vehicles. And it was very interesting because my girlfriend, she was talking about this electric vehicle to the other people, the fair goers. And I mean, Volkswagen should hire her because she knew from just being around me more about this vehicle. And people would walk up and they'd be like, "What? It drives on electricity? There's no engine? You don't put gas anywhere?" They just don't know. They just haven't seen them, you know? And yeah, granted, Oklahoma City is a modern, nice, fantastic city, and Oklahoma University is not very far away, and I'm sure there's plenty of electric vehicles down that way. But a lot of us are in the oil field country. A lot of us, just a ton of big trucks. Speaking of big trucks, the F-150, it sells like 750,000 each year, and that's just in the United States. And um, all plugins all together, maybe I don't know what it's going to be for 2014 exactly. I don't think they have that number yet, but it's probably going to be 100,000, which is a great start, but we have to do better. And a big way that I'm going to do this is talk about just how great and how cool electric vehicles are. And when I talk about electric vehicles, I'm talking about it has to have a plug. If it doesn't have a plug, I don't even want to hear about it. Well, I'll rephrase that. I guess I want to hear about it. I want to hear about the hydrogen fuel cell car if they're making that better. And then there's some other thing called the flow cell vehicle that's supposed to be in, is it Geneva Auto Show? Right now I don't know if it's for real, if it's something that's actually going to work. It's supposed to give you crazy amount of range. But as I said, if it doesn't have a plug, I'm not usually going to talk about it. But the Volvo XC90, this is something that could sell here in the oil field country. This is, a big SUV. It has a 4-cylinder engine. That's all, just a tiny little four cylinder. That used to be the economy size engine, running this big SUV because it has, I call it twin motors. I don't call it hybrid because it has electric motors in the rear to run the rear wheels. And that's just freaking cool. And with those two motors, the ICE motor, the internal combustion engine, is supercharged, charged. It's just a fantastic vehicle. And this is something that would sell to the rest of the folks, to the people really that I talk to, not about, excuse me. Well, one thing that I say to a lot of those environmentalist type people that I talk to is I expect them to help me promote this. Why not? It's not hurting them. They might not agree with my politics, but they probably agree with me that electric vehicles is a good thing. And so they're not necessarily my audience. My audience is the rest of the people that's going to get excited about, you know, uh, this SUV that has twin motors and has 400 horsepower and also gets great fuel economy. And, we don't know about superchargers or seeing a lot of electric vehicles or modifying your um, i3 to get more range. And what they're doing is something with um, the i3 has a range extender. It has like a small gasoline motor in it to generate electricity. And they can do something with that to make it more efficient. Well, I shouldn't say efficient, it gets them more range. Um, the reason that BMW has it set the way it is for I don't know, I guess for emissions or to qualify for some rebates or bonuses from the government. As I said, I don't know, and I'll try to get some people on there to explain that more. More. So, um, one thing I want to talk about is, as I said, this is how I'm going to approach this. Electric vehicles are cool. Plug-in twin motors are really cool. And the like Porsche has a 918, and maybe a lot of people think they did it to be a show car. It's a hybrid. It has electric motors. Maybe they started that way, but I think the Porsche, Acura, a lot of these high end cars realize that it's just better technology. It is just freaking cool to take a small engine that's supercharged with electric motors. And I think it's definitely a bridge. And that's something that we could do now. Somebody asked, are we going to make it to the 2025 goal of, was it 54, 50 some miles per gallon? Yes, of course we're going to make that goal. We can make that goal today. There's no reason why every single car company can't make a twin motor vehicles, a small internal combustion engine and electric motors. And there's no reason they can't do that now. They have the technology. Matter of fact, I'm looking forward to seeing who's going to be the first company that's going to offer, all their products that way. And so, with all that said, how great electric vehicles are, there's definitely one thing that I'm going to continue to talk about, and that is the bad guys, ISIS, or I don't know, I forget what other names they call themselves. I'm going blank there, but what, I did some research and I got some pictures for the YouTube channel here, and I definitely could have found some more disturbing pictures to put on my YouTube channel. It was disturbing. Don't Google ISIS and images. You don't want to see it. But these guys are, it's getting to be a mess over there in the Middle East. You know, is World War III starting? I don't know. I don't think so. And Egypt is attacking ISIS now, and in Jordan, and personally, for the United States, I think we should stay out of it and let them fight each other. But are you wondering what this has to do with electric vehicles? Well, if you guessed oil, you're right. These guys in the Middle East, either directly or indirectly, they're getting money through oil. They wouldn't have as much money and much power if it wasn't for oil. And that's not even counting, the Saudis and the people that we support and we get oil from. So I really think that for peace in the world, for happy, more jobs, happier economy, a safer world, that it's time to go with electric vehicles. And again, I work in the oil field, and I'm going to continue to talk about how if we wealthier countries go with electric vehicles, everybody's home has solar panels. A new technology comes out so that even if you live in a forest, that you can use some kind of solar. Things like that work on low light, which I do think will be in the future. And if that happens, then a simple solar light, like the D light, can be given to poorer countries, third world countries and such, and that could just make their lives a lot better. you know some inexpensive, cheap energy, and some light to read their books with and do their homework with. That makes for a better world, and all that is just coming through with this new technology. And I do call it new technology. I've said before, there's probably a lot of people that just dismiss solar panels and electric vehicles is because they're not anything new. And the truth is that that might be true to a certain point, but the batteries are better, and I believe that they will continue to get better. Yep. So that's what I'm all about. And I'm going to continue to do Google Hangouts every Wednesday at 8 p.m. And I'll plan ahead and try to get guests. I'm getting a little bit more comfortable with doing this. And then we'll keep on going. So, yep. It's not going to last as long today because I'm just talking to myself. But I do appreciate you watching, and please subscribe to my channel, Go Start Energy. And also, I started Solar Energy Buyers Club. It's on Google Plus. The reason I put on Google Plus is that way people can, if they put in Solar Buyers Club or Solar Co-op or something, then they'll be able to find it. And I have a goal to grow that. It is the best way to get the best price for your solar for your home, and that is grouped together with some other people and buy in bulk. If you could buy pallets and get them cheaper, or you can buy a whole container, those types that they put on the rail cars, or you can go to your local solar installer and say, hey, we have these multiple families, give us a deal. And we get big enough, it's all up to you. I can't do it myself. If we get big enough and there's enough people in the group, then those installers will start coming to us and give us a Go Star discount. And that's the plan. So thank you very much for watching, and have a great evening. And I will see you next week. All right. Thank you. Bye.